Okay, so I've got some free time. I'm going to be reading Mortigan Goth, Immortalis. And just to prove I have the copy, I've had this for about 3 years now, actually. Just didn't get around to reading it. This is the only issue I have. This is a mini-series, apparently. I did a bit of research. I'm not completely blind on this, just to prepare ahead of time. 4-issue series, but I only had the first issue at the time. Couldn't find the other ones. I was just curious. I picked it up. I thought, hey, that looks interesting. We'll see how good it is, though. But I'll read through it, and then I'll show some of the pages. And just for the hell of it, I'm also going to list off, the credits. Script by Nick Vince. Art by Mark Buckingham. Letters by Alida Fell. Color by Paul Schroeder. Editor Gary Russell. Created by Nick Vince and Mark Buckingham. Vincent Conran, Managing Director. Paul Neary, Editor-in-Chief. Michael W. Bennett, Group Editor. Julie Pickering, Production Manager. Fiona Moscatelli, Moscatelli, Promotion. Design and logo by Paul Chamberlain, assisted by Ed Lawrence. So yeah, this is Mortigan Goth, Immortalis, Chapter 1, The Devil's Due. And I'll give some descriptors. You see sort of a medieval rendition of a man clad in a blue cloak with a flower insignia on the back, approaching a devil-like figure with a hanging man from a tree in the background. Prelude, England, 1349. I had walked the world for 15 years and learned much of its wonders. Then the plague, the great mortality, spread like a black cloud from China. It had snapped at my heels across Europe. Now I was near home. It was there before me, and I knew I couldn't escape death. So the rendition of what he's doing in the sort of artistic interpretation he's actually doing now in reality, he's approaching a devil-like figure cloaked in red in a white suit, approaching a chessboard. I called on the devil to save me. Come play a game, Mortigan Goth. How was Jay to guess he'd answer? Your move, Mortigan. And so Jay played chess with the devil. The prize? Immortality. Hopefully the camera will pick this up, but that is what I was referring to, all of this. So he approaches, and I'm pretty sure that's Mephisto. To distract me, he told the story of the girl twisting, in the wind above us. With a third of the world dead from the pestilence, you'd think they might have let her live. What did she do? She smothered her newly born son and, oh, you lose your queen. How did they prove her guilty? The priest, Nicholas de Belray, had the child's lungs ripped from its body and thrown in a tub of water. The lungs floated, which proved the child drew breath before it died. So mother must have murdered it, and so mother had to die. The child's father was Nicholas de Belray. He drops a piece. You dropped your piece. The damn thing bit me. Actually, if this is England, I need to pretend to have an English accent, but that may not go well, so maybe not. What? Does the story not move you to tears of outrage, cries for revenge? Place it next to your king. That's checkmate. Impossible! You cheated! No, my prince of this world, I've won my immortality. Though victorious, Jay felt melancholy. Jay wanted to reach home. But that story Jay'll tell you later. First, I must write of the doctor, the demon, and the possessed child. And I do know who this doctor figure is. But once again, I'm going to make sure that's in camera properly. Starting from this end down, going to that end, the camera just has it swapped. He plays his piece. The piece, according to him, bit him. I'm going to take a guess and say that there might be a trick to that, like maybe it's like a blood pact or something, knowing Mephisto. He wins. Gets upset at him. Mephisto leaves. Alright. Moving forward. The Devil's Due. I don't know why I'm looking straight ahead. I'm so used to looking straight ahead as opposed to down. New York, that was a quick jump. New York, 1965. I convinced the demon possessing the girl that Mephisto preferred his friend and so had promoted him during this demon's absence. In his anger, he quit possession of her. He was a particularly stupid demon. You lying cur, Mortigan. I have to keep my voice down a little bit. There is someone sleeping in another room. Now, Dr. Strange, now! What voice would I do for Doctor Strange? Would I just try to pretend that to be the actor playing him now, or just come up with my own? By the power of Vishanti! Sounded goofy. So yeah. Oh, whoop. That way. Gotta get used to that. Okay. And then advertisements, I'm just gonna skip over those because this came out in the 90s, so you know, a bit out of date on those ads, and I just want to focus on the story. In rings of pain I bind thee, to darkness I return thee. I want to put more emphasis on it, but don't want to yell. Casts him away. That was very quick. There isn't even like a panel to really show like him being teleported or blasted away. Just kind of like he's gearing up for the spell, is about to hit him, then just stops. Then afterwards, there's just a smoldering rubble from the looks of it. Oh no, there's like a person with steam coming off of them, I see. How did the demon enter her? This might explain it. She obviously read the wrong spell. By the Vishanti, who would put such a book in the hands of a child? I asked the same question when I heard you held the book of the Vishanti. It's like giving a flamethrower to a 4-year-old. Beware of vampires, Stephen. And remember, the gods give no gifts. There is always a favor to be returned. He leaves out of a room. Okay, so that was all in one room. Goodbye, Stephen Strange. Know this now. The Vishanti will turn their backs on you. Mortigan, wait! How did you know I had the book? He's questioning him as he leaves. But yeah, that was the panel I was referring to. Beautiful use of coloring, lighting, and framing, by the way. But then it just sort of, he's gearing up to cast it, and then just, the woman's just lying there. There isn't really like a transition or anything. It just sort of cuts ahead. At least from my perspective. Leaves out of the room. Okay. Then like a advertisement for a Game Boy game, but we're going to skip over that. Another time skip. England, 1993. Let me see. New character. He knew, Jackie. He knew I'd recite spells. I didn't understand from the book spells that made my brother a vampire. And he knew that Vishanti would lead me. See, Doctor... Hold on. Hold on a minute. Wait. Let me make sure of something real quick. 1965. Sorry, that's an older Doctor Strange. England, 1993. I believe that's an older Doctor Strange. I don't want to get the voices mixed up. Yes, it is. He knew, Jackie. He knew I'd recite the spells I didn't understand from the book. Spells that made my brother a vampire. And he knew the Vishanti would leave. Well, there's actually a tab here saying, see Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, numbers 14 through 18, plus 50. So there are reference numbers for what you need to look up to understand what the hell's going on. Classic comic books. They get so confusing after a while that you have to look up references. I've got to speak to him, Jackie. He must know something. Falsworth Manor. To get my powers back. Stephen, I haven't heard from him in years. I don't see... Jackie, hold on. Jackie, I'm about 3 miles from... It's on the phone. Once I can get through this fog, I'll explain it properly. Older lady in front of a fireplace. White-haired lady. I can't believe how bad it is. It's getting into the car. On the other end of the phone. I'll put the gate lights on for you. There's sort of a supernatural pinkish purple fog floating into the vehicle, easing its way through. And now almost like a mixture between like a vampiric brainiac is sort of forming inside of the vehicle. A purple hand lays itself across the back of Doctor Strange. He looks worried in the rearview mirror, right-hand side. Gnarling teeth. He looks back in horror as something jumps at him, and I'm just describing that. That's not in the panels, but this is basically. And I would turn this around to just sort of read off of the screen, but as you can see, probably from the live stream, it's a little blurry, and I don't want to get any more. I don't want to stumble anymore. Alright, okay. Also, I can't really check the chat right now. I'm going to keep this moving, keep it going. No sudden breaks. This isn't a commercial. This isn't a TV show. Car crashes, hits a tree, catches on fire, because of course it does. It's an action comic. Every car catches on fire after it hits a tree or something. The vampiric figure steps out over Strange, who is doubled over outside of the car. He exits from the right-hand side. It's about to bite down on his neck. Bites down on his neck, drawing blood. And then it's a little hard to tell, but there's a figure running up on the figure. And so she sort of gets up, and it is the woman that he called, he was on the phone with, bearing a cross at the vampiric figure. The vampiric figure then turns frightened, turns into an enormous bat and flies off. Welcome to Falsworth Manor, Stephen. I'm trying to find a proper accent to work with her. Now all of a sudden her hair's blue. But that might just be the lighting. Oops. Okay. Falsworth Manor the next day. Stephen Strange, you have 2 cracked ribs and slight concussion. I'm not sure if that's a typo or if she actually does have broken English, but I know because I had to check into some stuff ahead of time that her name is Jacqueline, so there maybe yeah. Now cut that stiff upper lip bit and get back in that bed. I have to find Mortigan, Jacqueline. It is so important. He falls out of bed. He's trying to pull himself back up. She comes to basically try to lift him back up, grabs a hold of one of his arms. Just because he knew you'd lose your powers doesn't mean he can help you get them back. There's another reason. It's the other immortals. Someone is killing them. That doesn't make sense. There are 2 dead already. This is a shot from outside of the manor looking in. There are 2 dead already. One survived the attack, and then we've got to warn Mortigan. No, Jackie. So that's the nickname he has for her. Get a little closer. It's getting a little blurry. Okay. Hold on one moment. I have to check the time. Because I can only do this for so long, and then I gotta get back to stuff that I'm working on. He accuses Mortigan of being his attacker. I don't believe you. I've known him since I was a child. He's been a friend of his family for generations. He's no saint. But he wouldn't do such a thing. Jackie, you must understand. I can't scream this right now. I want to, but I can't. No, you must understand. He's Catherine's only hope. We've got to bring him here to save her. Who's Catherine? Catherine is an old friend. She is the vampire who attacked you. Oh, okay. Mortigan saved her once before. Saved her once. How did she turn back into a vampire? We have to find Mortigan, Stephen. Something in his blood can cure her vampirism. Something related to. So basically, she's begging. She's leaning over, like begging him, and then she sort of recomposes herself. It then cuts over to. I forgot what the name of this is, but there's a game, if you've ever seen it, where you attach a string to the end of like a cup, like a wooden cup, and at the end of that string is a ball. The entire idea, and I remember playing with one of these as a kid, but I forgot the name of it. The entire idea is you have to sort of fling it up and see if you can catch it with the cup. So that's what's happening. It's dangling. It's flipped up quickly, basically one quick motion. It goes up, goes down, goes back in place, swifts up, misses it again, misses it again. God's blood. Language. I'm not sure who's talking right now, but he keeps trying to like catch it. Can't do it. Meanwhile, Jay was in San Francisco, trapped under a hotel. There'd been a quake. Let me see if something real quick. Hello? Is there someone there? Of course I'm here. What did you think? I am a ghost? You okay? I'm under most of the St. Francis Hotel. I can't move my legs. Oh, whoops, hold on. I'm going to show the former panels real quick. And that cup game I mentioned. Okay. And what else are you supposed to ask me? Hey, are you about to die? Oh, but the former thing he says, though, is, the lady I was with, not my wife, is under here, too. She's not breathing, and... No, that you cannot ask, though it is what you mean. Do you want to chat, or shall I try to get you out? By all means try, but that is more than a ton of... He's trying to, like, lift it. There's some space above it, if I can just... He seems to be unlocking his inner Goku. Or not. Can you move? No, not yet, but nearly. Okay, I'll lift. He's lifting it. Ah, put it down, put it down. What happened? I might want to have kids one day. Well, you might be dead. Then we'll have to wait for a rescue team. He sits with him in the darkness, with the only thing to light the darkness being a candle. Either a candle or a lighter he brought with him. Tell me a story. Pardon? It's okay. I shan't ask you to tuck me in and kiss me goodnight. But please take my mind off. And suddenly, of the 1,000 stories Jay knew, Jay could remember only one. Close-up of one of his eyes. I'm hoping that even though I'm trying to keep my voice low, that the audio is going to pick up on this well enough. Hopefully. There was a man who won immortality from the devil. We're back to England in the olden days. This is picking up right after he won his immortality. He suspected the devil was a bad loser. There would be a price to be paid. Horsham, England, 1349. He's walking through medieval city streets. There's one cloaked blue figure similar to him, lying down or sitting on a chair closer to him, across from a building. Another is lying in the street, either passed out, drunk, possibly dead, not sure. They stand out rather well with the architecture. I actually really love the way that they're, I'll show it in a minute, but I love the way they're presenting the architecture here. In the man's hometown, the dead lay in the street. Oh, okay, so they are dead. In the man's hometown, the dead lay in the street, dead from the plague or starvation. Neighbor shunned neighbor because they did not understand how the plague spread. It seemed that to look upon the sick was to invite death for yourself. There were no children playing. We transition over to him approaching a woman in an alleyway. There's an overhang. Her back is towards a wall to a building. She's clad in black and white, possibly a nun. He recognized a neighbor and saw in her the first signs of the pestilence, a terrible weariness. "Good morrow, Mistress Wilking. Have you seen my mother?" "Mortigan Goth." "My mother, mistress, is she yet well?" "I saw your mother this morning. She would not speak to me." In a day or two there would be black swellings under her arms and groin. He came to his mother's house and hope beat painfully in his chest. So he's leaving her. He is either knocking on or about to open another door. He opens the door and there's someone laying in bed. He could not smell the plague there, but she was coughing. "Mortigan." A second form of the plague affected the lungs. Well, this is awfully topical, but thankfully we don't have to deal with Black Plague right now. But there's him, from earlier. Mephisto still leading the hanging corpse. The rendition of what I was talking about. Hold on. I lost track of the page there for a minute. And I'm about to lose it again. Hold on to that tighter. On the far left, there's that rendition I was speaking of. Only the devil leaves. See how much time I've been going for? 24 minutes? Okay, still got some time. I'm gonna finish this up quick. "Oh, Mortigan, I was well this morning." "I know, rest. I can make you well." He lied, knowing her death was only hours away. He asked after his sister. "Where's Celia?" "The priest, Dr. Belray, hanged her yesterday. He said she murdered her child." That does not go well with him. He screams no, but I can't really scream that. He's practically shaking his fists at God right now. He then leaves for the church. him silhouetted against the darkness of the place. He had been a day late to save his sister, a day late to save his mother. He wondered if this was the price of his immortality. "So, Mortigan, we meet again." Mephisto is sitting atop, almost as if he is an emperor gargoyle atop a tombstone, similar to the tombstone on the front cover. "I assume you've come to kill the priest de Beret. Well, not tonight, my friend. He and I have business. In a few minutes I have to make my entrance. You are welcome to watch the drama unfold. But interfere, and I promise you 1,000 years of suffering." We are now inside of the church. "God has turned from us because he is mad. He has sent the pestilence to punish evil and good alike." And then Mephisto shows up. Alright. "Hope has perished from this world. To survive the pestilence, we must turn to the ancient gods." Of course, of course. Which one? Nartholop, Cthulhu, which one you want? "Only the devil can save us." Oh, so we got a devil worshipper here. I guess his eyebrows are a dead giveaway. And he has like a wine in a cup. There's a bunch of people congregating around him. "Hear us, master of darkness, hear us, Mephisto." Oh, so he's waiting to make his grand. I see. He's here to just saunter on in. He's like, I'm here. Okay, so Mephisto is now transformed into a more devilish figure to sort of make his grand entrance to manipulate these people. "Cease your noise. The only one you seek is already here." De Beret spoke to the devil in Latin, a language the villagers wouldn't understand. Personal pet peeve of mine, I really hate religious fanaticism. That's part of the reason why. Stunts like that made the immortal man curious. So now Mephisto's up. He's standing back. Mephisto is up on the podium. I guess he just sort of walked through these people. I'd imagine most people would be too afraid to stop him. He's now up on the podium, sort of kneeling down with the priest, still pontificating. "Master, these simple fools have signed their souls to you. And they want what? To survive the plague, but the contract provides that you take their souls and give me immortality." And of course, in Latin. And so he's like giving him a scroll, smiling over this. He has his fingers sort of curled around the scroll. He picks it up and sort of like opens it up with his much larger fingers. "I see you have written it in Latin. They knew not what they signed, but they did sign. The contract is agreed. Well, fuck, that escalated quickly. Oh, sorry for my language. Give me the youngest child to seal it." And there is a woman clad in orange with a baby. And I would imagine, of course, he probably, not Mephisto, but the priest probably set this up on purpose. "No, not my girl." Marvel Comics can be pretty messed up, so I'm a little worried as to how much they're going to show of this. I mean, I'll show it. I'm not for censorship, but I don't know if I want to read it, is what I mean. Sort of makes his grand entrance, his grand evil entrance. I also love the sort of medieval-esque artistic renditions of creatures on the bottom panels, bottom and side panels, if you can see them in blue. Those are great. Like folklorish creatures. That's fantastic. And then there's a man clad in what looks like a fur coat. Give me the child, woman. You've lost children before. Better it die and we live to have others. And she's pleading at this point. Her child's hair is apparently green. Sorry, I'm distracted. He snatches it from her. We don't really see the motion. Okay. Okay. The immortal man felt the devil's hot eyes daring him to interfere. I don't really want to verbally describe it. I'll show it, but demanding he weigh a child's life, these people's souls, against 1,000 years of suffering. He told himself these people helped the priest hang his sister. So we have a bit of a morally questionable main character here. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with stories having that, just it's still hard to take. Hey, what kind of story is this? San Francisco, 1993. Sorry? I mean, is the story supposed to cheer me up? A child is killed? I didn't say, hey, Tony, we're rescued. Tony? Oh, I'm sorry. I hadn't realized you died on me. Shit. That quickly? You could have waited till I finished the story, couldn't you? There's that. Thankfully, they do not actually show it. That's just a personal thing with me. I'm not against artists renditioning stuff that people would find offensive, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of art has this issue where they just feel like, hey, I can get away with it, so I can do it. But sometimes it's best not to show some things. It has more of an impact, and I think this comic actually handled that rather well, because it could have been just easy to go full gratuitous, but they didn't. Having restraint is an important part of storytelling. There's a huge spread of advertisements for baseball-related paraphernalia, so I'm just going to pass that up. One moment, I need to make sure how many ads. We're nearing the end. Mortigan, huh? He turns to look at a glowing butler man with a band-aid on his neck. Okay, no, sorry, it's Doctor Strange. Okay. He's glowing like yellowish, almost like faded gold, or like maybe like a light, like a lamp. Oh, hi, Doc. Don't tell me you've been killed and come to haunt me. This is my astral form. Okay. My battered body still lives and is in Fallsworth Manor. Why the astral projection to see me? Catherine in Fallsworth. Her vampirism has returned and you've been accused of killing immortals. Well, I don't know. Did they deserve it? Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. So... Oh, he said, so the man obviously wanted your help, you Schleimel. Schleimel? What the hell does that mean? I'm going to have to look that up afterwards. I'm curious. What are you doing here? Oh. The man's ghost is now projected in blue, the man he attempted to save and told the story to earlier. I want to hear the end of your story. Oh. What's the matter? I can't remember if I put on clean underwear this morning. What are they going to think in the morgue? And with that, it is done. with that, that is the end of my amateurish reading of a comic book. Next issue. No name for the next issue. I figured they may have had a name for it, but they didn't. So yeah. That was fun to read, though. I might do some more live readings, possibly of books or comics. I might still have to keep my voice low, just because I don't want to interrupt anyone else, and I'll have to only do it in sessions, which is why, yeah, 35 minutes, that's all the time I got right now. So, hopefully that was fun. If not, let me know. Let me know it was crap. Let me know it was good. Let me know it was mediocre. Or don't let me know at all. Sometimes ambiguity is key.